Hello, I am back today with one of the coolest things to hit the nail world, I think, in a really long time. This is the UberChic mat for nail art and nail polish. This is as far as my my little tripodal telescope, and this is as far out as I can get. But I'm trying to show you the full size here in the little window, and you can see these are my hands. This mat is huge. It is made out of some really cool, like, I don't know exactly what it is, but some magic silicone something or other that it's bendable and it's polish resistant and it's acetone resistant and it's nail polish remover resistant. So if you spill your nail polish on it, you're not going to do any damage. If you spill your nail polish remover, you're not going to do any damage. And we're on this field trip out here because this is where I normally work. And you can see if I pull this up, there's been some damage from a few things that I've done that I'm not super proud about. So I am really excited about this because, you know, if I ruin any more furniture, I may have to find a new place to live. So this is really cool. And I love the size of it. I'm going to walk you through all the features of it that I think are really cool. First thing I want to show you is, look, this is the biggest stamping plate I have. It's a cheeky plate. It fits fully on there, so you have no problem. I mean, even if you want this top one right here, I always have a something underneath like that for when I scrape. You're gonna scrape, and your polish is you're gonna wipe it off right there off your thing. Plenty of room. You didn't have to go outside the mat. Let me show you what I'm used to working on. This is what I used to work on before. That's tragic, right? I mean, we can agree that can go. So this is just amazing to me. All right. Okay, so yes, it's awesome that it's a mat, but let me show you what I think is like the most awesomest part, especially if you're into nail art. This is great, even if you just don't do nail art. You know, this is great for having a place where you can polish your nails, do your manicure, you don't have to worry about having anything on it. But if you do nail art, oh my goodness. Okay, so look, you may see over here, like I'm going to show you the square ones because my nails just happen to be square. You can see over here that there are these pre-done nails on here. And you might be thinking, okay, well, what the heck is the point of that? Well, this looks like it's a little bit bigger than my nails, but keep in mind my nails are curvy. So, you know, it is about the size of my nail in terms of the whole pattern that needs to go over it. So what I can do is I can just, instead of using a Ziploc bag or, you know, some other clear thing, I can do my nail decals right here. And every time I do nail decals, I love them, but, you know, I have a tendency, I'll admit, that I'll put on a couple of things and then I have a hard time seeing exactly where the different squares are that I did, and I stamp on them and I end up getting half of them half stamped. And right here, you're going to know. So, you know, all you got to do is just put your top coat or whatever it is that you want to work with and just do it on over, and boom. You know exactly where it is. You know exactly where the lines that you want to stamp inside are. It's like a pre-made grid, and you can do, you know, all 5 of them at the same time for one hand. And, you know, of course you don't have to use the square ones. If you have square nails, you can use these ones. It's just a guideline. But so you can do all 10 of your decals at the same time. And if you only want to do, you know, like accent nail decals and you want to stick with just, you know, the shape that suits you because that's a little bit easier, that's fine too. But it's not hard at all to just use this as a rough guideline and realize, you know, that's where you're going to go. Oh, can you tell I'm excited? Okay, so here's another thing that you can do on this mat that I think is amazing. You can test out your combinations. So if you're trying to see what combinations are going to go well together in a mani, especially a stamping mani, if you want to see one is going to go over another, one color is going to go over another, or which is going to look better over another, you can do that. Now you can do it anywhere, but I love that there's these little spaces right here for you to be able to do that, because I can have something going on here, I can have something going on here, have it drying, and do the other stuff I need to do right here because there's plenty of space. I'm so excited about that. Okay, so let's take a look right now. I have this polish on. It is Julep Christa. Is that in focus? Let's see, Julep Christa. I do not have autofocus on my camera, so you may have to trust me. But Julep Christa, and let's say that I have a couple of different polishes that I want to try out, right? So I can put myself a little swatch right here, put myself a little swatch right here, and then I'm going to stop recording and come back when it's dry and show you the next step. But as you probably have guessed, the idea is I can stamp right on there and see, you know, what they're going to look like. And then, once it's dry, all I got to do, same thing with the nail decals, once it's dry and I'm done with it, it's going to peel right off. You see that? It's going to peel right off when it's dry. This one isn't fully dry yet, but you kind of get the point, and I'll show you more later. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I'm trying to bring this in a little bit closer so that you can see everything. But still I want you to see how I can work with everything with no problem here on the mat. Okay, so let's say, you know, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this manicure. So I've got maybe these 3 polishes that I want to test, okay? And I'm not sure which one is going to look good or if any of them are going to even show up. So what I can very easily do now that I've got my little swatches over here and that they've dried is... And I'm working around a camera tripod right now, so normally I would have these a little bit closer to me so that if they spilled, I would know for sure that they were just going to go on the mat. Okay, so here we go. You guys know the drill here. And I can just wipe off like that. Easy peasy. Boom. Got my stamp. Doop. And I can just go, let's see, we'll do that one right there. Oh, look! It shows perfectly. And here, I'll bring the mat up here in a second and show you, because I can't tell right now how clear that is. So I will make sure. Okay, oh, and see, that's another thing I love about this mat. I can put my sticky tape right here instead of like sticking it to the edge of my table and then part of the varnish comes off with it. I can just stick it right here on the mat and then pull it up whenever I need it. And boom. Here we go. And voila. Perfect. Yay. When you're ready, I'm going to move all of this stuff out of the way so I can show you up close. When you're ready, I want to show you with these. First of all, I want to show you how beautifully that all came out, in case you can see it from the other angle. And then show you that you can just go boop and lift it up. Or, and if there's any residue, like there is there, you just go, you take your little sticky tape and go, ha! There you go, all gone. And now it's beautiful and clean again. Or you can just take it for the whole deal, right like that. And it'll come up in big pieces. So whatever you feel you want to do, you got it, you can do it. Easy peasy. All right. Okay, so with respect to using this for decals, I have played around with it a little bit and I have found out a couple of things. Not all of the top coats are going to work equally well for it. So this is a case where my beloved Seche Vite, if I just put one thin coat and then try to stamp something on top of it, it just comes right up on my stamper. But I found that if I use 2 coats or a generous coat of Seche Vite, it will stay. But I've actually found even better, this is Cutica, this is Zoya's top coat, and this works really well. One thin coat and it works just fine. So I've got I've got those waiting, and I'm just going to show you here. You just need a thin coat of the Zoya, and just like that. Okay, so let's test it out here. Boom, perfect. Let's do that again. Let's go on ahead and try that Seche Vite. So if you have a thicker, you can see though how even though it's a thicker coat, it starts to pop up. So the Seche Vite, because I give the different formula, it doesn't work so well for this technique. You can still do it, but I would recommend playing around a little bit with your top coats to find out which top coat you want to use in order to get your decals really well. So now what you would do is you would just, you know, go in, color in with whatever, your brush or your dotting tool or whatever, get your color in there, that, you know, and then once it's dry, you're going to be able to just peel it on up. Be careful, of course, because you don't want to like peel it and have it rip in half. So be careful how you peel it up, but it should peel off just that simple, just that easily, and boop, you have a beautiful nail decal that you can, you know, put on and do your thing with however you want to do it. Another thing you can do with these is let's say that you've got brads or studs or something that you want to play with. You can lay them out and see, okay, you know, you want to know how this relates to your actual nail size, and then just kind of lay out the pattern, see how it's going to look. You can play around with it to get that perfect. That's not something I can do with my nails because they're too curved. I can't sit there and lay out brads and figure out an exact pattern that I want to do because they're just going to fall off everywhere. But here I can do it, and that gives me the ability to play around with that. There's just all kinds of stuff you can use these guides for. There's all kinds of testing you can do. And for me, just the safety issue alone, even if it didn't have any of this other stuff, the safety issue alone on this is really awesome. I can sit here and I can clean off my plate, and I don't have to worry about getting the acetone anywhere or putting that anywhere. It can sit there forever and it's not going to hurt anything because it's the magic whatever substance. And I'm going to say something else. I got a dog, and my dog, of course, had to go, what's this? And she pawed at it, and she didn't even leave a mark. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to let her play with it because I'm sure that there's only so much it can take. But still, you know, when my dog is pawing at it and doesn't even leave a mark, that's not too shabby. One thing I do want to say, though, remember to say, is she did say that if a polish will stain your nail stamper, it will stain this. So if you have any polishes that are super stainy and you want your pretty mat to stay pristine, do not use them directly on this mat. So be careful with that. So I just love this, and I'm going to hurry and end now. And I could talk and rave about it forever, but I want to get this up for you guys to see it because it's amazing. And I want you to be able to grab it if you can. I'll have all of the links, all of the relevant information on where you can get this from UberChic down in the description box. And as always, thank you for